Good evening, welcome to Monday's Look North.
Yes, thank you for joining us on the programme tonight. Fire rages at a Kenyan hotel and a coach crashes in Belgium. The holiday nightmares for Yorkshire tourists.
Getting tough on the stag and hen parties, which tarnish the image of the city of York.
And the movers and the shakers reflect on Yorkshire's big Bollywood weekend.
And it's been a sunny and very warm day today. Temperatures have reached into the mid-70s Fahrenheit. But with this kind of heat comes a risk of thunderstorms, and we could see some tomorrow. I'll have the full forecast later in the programme.
Thanks, Lisa. We start the week with two stories of holiday nightmares abroad. A South Yorkshire company is investigating after a coach it had chartered was involved in a crash in Belgium in which 18 people were hurt.
And in West Yorkshire, a holidaymaker says guests at a hotel in Kenya helped to prevent a major tragedy when a blaze swept through the building when some alarms and fire extinguishers failed to work. In a moment, we'll be speaking to the man involved in that drama. But first, here's Tom Ingle.
A violent end to a European break. This coach, operated by Ledger Holidays, who were based in Rotherham, ended up glancing the side of a house. The accident happened between the Belgian towns of Middelkerk and Newport. There were 35 passengers on board and 2 drivers. 3 of the passengers had to stay in hospital overnight, but the co-driver, who wasn't behind the wheel at the time, was more seriously hurt. He had to have part of his arm amputated. The British ambassador to Belgium was among those who went to the scene to assist the holidaymakers.
It's my understanding that he had an operation yesterday in hospital, and actually colleagues from the consulate in Lille came over and called at the hospital yesterday. My understanding is that he did have an emergency operation yesterday and was sedated when my colleagues called to check on his condition.
Ledger is based in Rotherham, but attracts passengers from across the country. Those who didn't return immediately after yesterday's accident were being repatriated today. It's understood 4 of them came from Yorkshire.
What we did is we actually we mobilised people straight away, as we said, from Calais, but then we also mobilised a full team here in our office in Rotherham, and we sent 9 people plus a trained counsellor down to Belgium instantly, who were there on the same day to be with the people.
The cause of the accident is still being investigated. Reportedly, the coach had to swerve when a car pulled in front of it. Looking at the extent of the damage, it seems remarkable the toll of injuries was not greater. Tom Ingle, BBC Look North.
Thanks, Tom. Well, meanwhile, a holiday in Kenya turned into a nightmare for a man from Wakefield when his hotel in Mombasa caught fire. Now, Dominic Kennedy says the fire alarms did not work and fire extinguishers that he found were rusty. The tragedy was only averted because Dominic and other guests went round banging on the doors. Well, you join me now, Dominic. Sounds awful. I mean, you must have just thought, wow, this is going to be a big tragedy.
Well, you've seen from the pictures, it looked as though everything could gone up, and getting the people out, it was a miracle that we got everybody out.
I mean, the pictures of it actually ablaze. Just think what wouldn't have happened if you'd been banging on people's doors.
Well, that's an aside line. It's more to the fundamental problem that there was no basics like a fire alarm, and we were assured by the companies that this had been checked on the 8th of May. Less than a month later, the fire alarms did not go off. The extinguishers were rusty. That's not done within a month.
You see, we've heard there from the family of those 2 little ones who died in Corfu, and they are really, really adamant that tour... Did you book your...
We booked through a tour operator,
right,
a major tour operator.
in this country?
In this country.
And they're adamant that it's their responsibility to check the accommodation. Would you go along with that?
It is their responsibility to check the accommodation to UK standards, not the Kenyan standards. If you book with a UK reputable company, it should be to UK standards.
I mean, this is what it looked like afterwards.
This is what it looked like. I mean, we should never have even been allowed in, but it was the tour operator rep saying it was safe. There was toxic smoke still burning there. They were chasing us out of the room with AK-47s to pay for minibar, checking the minibars as it's
with
burning
guns?
around us still, AK-47 guns, the guards.
So because you owed a gin and tonic on your minibar...
No, it was a Dairy Milk bar.
So, hang on a minute. You bought a Dairy Milk, you'd lost presumably all your belongings,
yeah.
and they were saying, give me 50 pence or whatever.
Yeah, they were chasing us for it. We just wanted to get in and get out of the country.
You sound very angry.
And obviously major catastrophe that was averted only by holidaymakers, nothing to do with these companies. You put your trust when you book with them that you're safe, not to go on holiday and bear the responsibility of getting people out. If we'd have been fast asleep, Well, it doesn't bear
knows?
thinking about, yeah.
Dominic, thank you very much for telling
You're
us
welcome.
your story. Well, we can tell you that a spokesman for My Travel, who Dominic booked through, said in a statement to Look North that they would like to assure him that a full investigation is already underway and a fire engineer had already travelled to Kenya on behalf of the tour operators.
You're watching Look North from the BBC.